Well, 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 what a surprise to see such an august gathering here. Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm Shelley Rakheja, but not your host for tonight, if you're wondering. But tonight promises to be an enthralling evening where we have with us not one, but two young, dashing individuals who are here to captivate us with their talent, with their charisma, and the zeal for protecting the climate and environment. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, not one, but two young, great individuals. Before I invite them up on the stage, allow me to introduce both these young individuals to you. Firstly, we have with us a gorgeous young lady, if I may say so. She's barely 11 years old, but the way she talks, the way she presents herself, the way she passionately speaks for climate change, preservation of environment, and everything, she's really gonna captivate your heart. Ladies and gentlemen, she is Prasiddhi Singh, barely 11 years of age, hails from Tamil Nadu, a globally recognized environmentalist and a youth leader. She is the recipient of the Prime Minister National Child Award, highest civilian honor under 18 in India. She has founded the Prasiddhi Forest Foundation and the Green Pillar. She works on nature-based solution projects for the past 7 years since the age of 4, such as indigenous and fruit tree plantation, mangrove plantation, lake restoration, agroforestry, and community projects. That's not it. If you're wondering, wow, she's done so much already. She's barely 11. The list is long, ladies and gentlemen. She was the youngest national speaker at G20Y20, Kashmir, and also the youngest delegate at United Nations COP28, UAE. Still more accolades, still more feathers to her cap. Can you imagine how many trees she has planted till now? Just take a wild guess. Oh my God. She's barely 11, but she is really telling us what we have to do as adults to conserve the nature. She has already planted 130,000 trees across 93 places in India. Ladies and gentlemen, she's also the recipient of the Diana Award, UK most prestigious global award for social action and humanitarian efforts. She's also been awarded Young Mind of Tomorrow Award, ET Now and Times Network, Global Child Prodigy Award, Dubai, Earth Day Network Rising Star USA, Global Sustainability Award by GCPIT. Whoa, the list continues. It is a never-ending list, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure as she grows up, she's going to add furthermore feathers to her cap. She's none other than Prasiddhi Singh, and joining her upon the stage, we have another young, dashing hero, if I may say so, in his field. He is barely 15 years of age, Karnav Rastogi, already an author, a poet, and a global change advocate. Whoa. They are really giving me some discomfort. I have done nothing, it seems like that. These young champions are really contributing so much at such a young age. Karnav has authored 11 books, 7 in English, 4 in regional languages, and is running a free book distribution drive titled Each One, Read One to Plant One, and has distributed numerous free copies of his book titled Karthik, Mixi, and Climate Change, It's Now or Never, to students across the country to create awareness about climate change, and has won more accolades than his age. Don't you agree, ladies and gentlemen? These young, dynamic individuals are totally charismatic in their zeal. He's won the Young Eco Hero Award 2023 by Action for Nature San Francisco 2023. He's also been awarded Panorama International Literature Prodigy Award 2023. He is the only Indian recipient of Messengers of Peace Hero Award by World Organization of Scout Movement, Philippines 2022 for his work on climate change. He is UNEP Tide Turner Plastic Champion, Youth Conservation Hero WWF, and has also been recognized as Humans of Trees from an NGO, and has also been awarded Unstoppable 21 for being a global change advocate from the Times of India. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now eager to introduce these two young individuals up on the stage. So without further ado, please, with a thunderous round of applause, welcome Prasiddhi Singh and Karnav Rastogi up on the stage. Woo! Let's give a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. They surely are the leaders of tomorrow, emerging India.
Good evening, Earth champions. Welcome to the 11th Earth Care Awards, where being green isn't just a fashionable greenwash, it is a color of superpower. I am Prasiddhi Singh. Oh, and did I mention, just like the 11th Earth Care Awards, it's my 11th year too.
And I am Karnav Rastogi, and I'm 15 years old, and hopefully I would also be hosting the 15th edition too.
Today, we are your guide to a world where sustainability meets stardom. You might be wondering, why is this kid on stage? Fair question. We are here because we believe that kids can change the world, just the way I have been trying to, by planting 130,000 trees and mobilizing 80,000 people across 20 countries.
And I am on a mission to spread awareness and inspire everyone to do their bit. I have written 11 books and distributed numerous copies of my book. And guess what? You too can make change happen. Lot of us already have. Tonight, we are not just talking about climate change. We are making change happen.
Now, picture this. A summit where our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji is making a groundbreaking announcement. India will host COP33 in 2028. I felt a surge of hope as he declared this at COP28 UAE. Because over there, inspired, I did not only witness, but I actively advocated about our planet as being the youngest delegate at United Nations COP28 in various platforms such as UN SDG, UN DESA, and UNFCCC. Now, I know, you are used to serious talks and big words. But who said we cannot have a little fun while saving the planet? Exactly, Mr. Godrej, just with your excitement. And consider us as your eco-friendly tour guide, showcasing the most intriguing highlights of this green adventure. Now, I want all of you to close your eyes and imagine a world where trees high-five each other, oceans throw sparkles, and the air smells like lavender and roses. Did you get that picture in your mind, everyone? And Karnav?
Yes, it would be truly mesmerizing. I wish we all could come together and witness such a scene.
Great, because that is the world we are working towards tonight. The IPCC 2023 report may say our planet is in a bit of a hotspot, but guess what? We are not just spectators. We are players in this game of change. And we have all got a secret superpower. Mine happens to be nature-based solution projects and environmental advocacy. What is yours, Karnav?
My superpower is writing and spreading awareness about sustainability and climate change, as I believe a drop of ink can make a million think.
Awesome, that is amazing. Because I am sure that lots of Earth champions around the world have their own superpower.
With a vision to promote some of these extraordinary works, way back in 2008, a collaboration between JSW and Times of India initiated the Earth Care Awards. Over the past decade, more than 79 such projects and individuals have been recognized and celebrated.
Well, fast forwarding it to now, here we are celebrating the 11th Earth Care Awards, an adventure where incredible folks are not just recognized but applauded and motivated for their eco deeds. It's like a cosmic stage where their stories shine bright, from reducing carbon footprint to crafting indigenous solutions that will surely make you go, wow. Which is why here we are tonight at the Earth Care Awards, not only as CEOs or tree huggers, we are over here to be a part of a bigger story, the story of a greener, cleaner, happier, and more resilient planet. So without further ado, let us dive into this epic planet's tale and make tonight Mother Earth's favorite show. So get ready for the one and only 11th JSW and Times of India Earth Care Awards. Is it exciting as we get ready for the 11th Earth Care Awards? I'm super excited to see our amazing winners for tonight.
As we have grown, we have witnessed benchmarks getting higher and higher, the standard becoming usual, and performance criteria becoming stringent. Our process is getting institutionalized and the evaluation more participative and open. We have collaborated with Think Through Consulting as our knowledge partner for the 11th edition of the award. Our outreach partners are the Council of Energy, Environment and Water, that is CEEW, and India Climate Collaborative. They have played a pivotal role in this strategic outreach to connect with corporates and grassroots communities. The 11th edition saw greater participation from industry, NGOs, grassroots organizations, and government bodies from across the country. To commence this memorable evening, may I invite Mrs. Sangeeta Jindal, the chairperson of JSW Foundation, who has been instrumental in championing the cause since inception, for the special address.
Good evening. Good evening, my little granddaughter, Ayu. The able jury of our Earth Care Awards, headed by eminent Dr. Mashelkar, Shloka, around, Rajat is somewhere around, I think, and everybody else, my colleagues and friends. I was recently reading Arshia Sattar's iconic translation of the Ramayana. What struck me was this description of Sita. Sita, born of the earth, more familiar with plants and trees and animals than Lord Rama could be. He was not around. When she finds herself exhausted in the Dandaneka forest while in exile, Sita draws her strength from the earth she knows, her mother, who she knows would protect her in the days to come. The earth is our mother. Like Sita, each one of us is the earth's child. And from Mother Earth, we derive comfort, draw our own personal and collective strengths, secure in the ancient knowledge that she has always taken care of us. Which is why we are gathered here at the Earth Care Awards to renew our commitment to protect her, our Mother Earth. Just last week, I was at Davos at the World Economic Forum, and to me, It was a reminder that this last year, in fact, the last decade, has been a clarion call that we need to act responsibly, to act urgently, to act even when it's not popular. Like the Ramayana asked us to think how we can do the right thing even when it is difficult. That, as Mr. Ajay Banga, I met him as the president of the World Bank, said at Davos, a journey filled by hope is the one that realized by deeds. We are at a time in history where we are witnessing the changes around us rapidly. Kashmir and Ladakh has been waiting a long time for the snow. The snow that transforms the landscape, lures tourists, and also provides water in the long months of the summer is yet to arrive. In sharp contrast, 2023 was the second warmest year for India since 1901, with the months of August and February being the warmest in the last 123 years. Heavy rainfall resulted in flooding and landslides across our country. There was a time when we looked forward to the seasonal changes, welcoming them with foods and festivities. Now our world has changed, and we no longer know when winter is coming, or monsoon, or how long these seasons will stay, and what havoc they might wreak. It's been over a decade since we dreamt up of the EarthCare Awards, a reminder that the next decade will be for outrage and optimism, where we need to embrace actions or transformative real climate solutions. If not now, then when? Each one of you, the EarthCare warriors, is a testament that the Earth's future is in safe hands. Hands that are working together to create a better present and future for themselves and their fellow citizens. Because each and every one of you is working to change the world and refusing to accept the change that's climate change. You are taking climate action through your businesses, through innovation with the community, and as individuals who believe in the power of collective action, to turn the tide, to stem the tide. And to me, this is the renewable energy our country needs. The power of Indian solutions. Our winners today embody Make in India. With their work, this is truly indigenous, grassroots level, and is of the people, by the people, and for the people. At the JSW Group, we have made our climate commitments and have charted out a roadmap to realize these commitments. JSW Steel has committed to reduce the CO2 emissions intensity by 42% by 2030, aligned with India's nationally determined contributions as per the Paris Agreement. To achieve the target, the company has earmarked more than 10,000 crores of investment. This will achieve progressively in our operations and increasing the use of renewable energy to the tune of 10 gigawatts by 2030. Supporting the energy transition towards climate change mitigation, JSW Energy has set a vision of becoming a 20 gigawatt company by 2030 with all the incremental capacity. Additions coming predominantly from the renewable energy resources. By embracing new age green energy at our foundation for dynamic growth, we are transforming ourselves to ensure that we become a net zero contributor of greenhouse gases emissions by 2050 or even earlier. JSW Cement, which my son Parth is handling, he's around, has one of the lowest carbon footprint in the industry and is committed to achieve net zero by 2050. It's a privilege to work with a team that working tirelessly, passionately on being future ready. According to the 2022 revision of the World Population Prospects, India has more than 50% of its population below the age of 25. We people are a little redundant, which is why climate decision making needs to take into account the voices of the young. After all, the future is in their hands. Ridhima Pandey, Ahiya Dikshit, Manya, Harsha are just some of the young people who have shown their way. We need to honor their voices, their thoughts and opinions, and we do that today with our new awards category, Young Change Makers for Climate Action. I think Ayu and the team, young people like her, she should become the person who should get this clarion call. While we didn't need one more reason for today's evening to be special, I can't help but feel excited for the first time it is the young people who are taking center stage, literally. At the age 11, I can't remember what I was doing. Maybe reading, studying, or playing badminton, but nothing as amazing as 11-year-old Prasidhi Singh and 14-year-old Karnav Rastodi are doing, making our planet's future less hazy and smog-filled. Put your hands together for them and make way for the young. The life is on these youngsters' hands, and we are here to support them. Thank you for being here, and thank you to be a part of this whole thing. Thank you.
Wow. Literally, it really makes me go, wow, what an earth-caring, It was seriously an earth-caring address made by Mrs. Jindal. Once again, thank you so much, Mrs. Jindal. Your inspiring, eloquent, and thought-provoking words definitely set the tone for this extraordinary evening. And we are deeply honored by your distinguished presence and immensely grateful for your unwavering dedication to the planet. And thank you so much for that appreciation. We both are deeply honored to be over here on this amazing platform. So let the Earth Care Awards unfold with the same passion, zeal, and commitment that you have instilled in this remarkable celebration. Once again, thank you so much for that earth-caring address, Mrs. Jindal.
May I now invite Mr. Sivakumar Sundaram, the CEO and Executive Director of the Times of India, to address the audience. Can we have a round of applause?
Good evening. So lovely to hear from the young Earth champions. Their combined age, if you double it, doesn't meet my age. So, but spoken like a true champions, absolutely spoken like true champions, and gives us the comfort that Mother Sita, Mother Earth, is in safe hands. Wonderful to hear from you. In 2008, Tarak Nath Chaudhary built a device that could save cooking gas consumption by 30% without reducing the heat. In one stroke, he reduced the use of fuel and saved money for LPG consumers. And Tarak Nath was also happened to be the first winner of the JSW Times of India Earth Care Award. This was 10 years back. And over the last decade, through 10 outstanding editions of these awards, we have, along with JSW, shown spotlight on 79 climate crusaders, individuals as well as institutions. These awards are heroes, these awardees are heroes who don't wear a cape, but wield a mighty message for change because they prevent like the young champions here, climate change. From the Rajputana rifles of the Territorial Army to the green thumbs of the Ladakh integrated agricultural development, from corporate giants like Mahindra and Godrej to the nurturing hands of Barefoot College, we have, and this forum has lauded them all. Therefore, our heartfelt thanks to the redoubtable jury for being the guiding and leading light for all the years. My special gratitude, Dr. Mashelkar, who has been unflinching in his support to this cause. Here I must also acknowledge the pioneering effort of JSW Group, in particular Ms. Sangeeta Jindal. Our shareholders also convey their acknowledgement and thank you, ma'am, for this support, for her invaluable and unwavering commitment to this cause. EarthCare Awards are particularly close to our heart because its criticality for our collective future. That's why over the years, we have added more to the cause. Exactly 4 years ago, on this very month, the Times of India launched an initiative to inform, inspire, and empower to reverse climate change. It is helmed by Mrs. Meera Jain, our Executive Director. Times Evoke follows a unique approach to earth care. And that approach is best described by a line I read in the very first edition of Evoke. It said, to fight climate change, we must evoke our better selves. And today when both the earth care champions spoke, I could see the reflection of how they actually evoked. And all of us, I'm sure, were so impressed when they spoke. Every week across all our publications in the Times of India group, Evoke publishes articles which appeal to our better self to save Earth and through that save and nurture our own future. Here are some images from a special Evoke page that was published in Times of India Evoke in January 24. Can you go ahead? So if you see, and a picture speaks 1,000 words, and that image of the two African ranges with the tusk conveys a huge, and we have exclusive permission to publish this only once. And this image speaks 1,000 words. Honored guest, this isn't just a gathering, it's a confluence of sustainability, leaders whose mission is to evoke positive change, and the leadership, as we saw today, is from the young generation. So here's to the EarthCare Awards, a saga of sustainability that has been given the grand stage it deserves, thanks to JSW and the Times of India. Let's keep this green world turning for today, for tomorrow, for generations to come. And thank you for being part of the journey. Let us all be caretakers of this beautiful blue dot in the vast cosmos. And as the young champion said, we are all players and not spectators. We need more players like you to prevent the climate change, and as the leading newspaper and news media in the country, we shall carry your inspiring stories to inspire 1 million for the well-being of the billions in the planet. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much. You have added so much to this memorable evening. I thank you from my heartfelt heart. May I now request for a small video to get insights from the jury about the incredible journey, meticulous process, and the way ahead for EarthCare Awards.
Every day that we delay action on climate change, we condemn our children and grandchildren to a world of rising seas, chaotic weather events, and devastating impacts on ecosystems. So urgency is our moral obligation. And I'm very happy to see that this urgency was felt by JSW Foundation and also by Times of India Group, and together they started these very, very important awards called Earth Care Awards in 2008. And this is the 11th edition of the awards. The way these awards have evolved is that we are looking at all stakeholders. First of all, we take a holistic view. We look at individuals, communities, organizations, enterprises. The other thing that is very important for these awards is the process that we follow. First of all, we have a great jury, fantastic jury, each one of them experts in their own area. They stand tall. Second is the actual process that we follow. We follow what is called as a assured matrix in order to screen. What is assured? Assured is a solution that you create has to be affordable, scalable, sustainable, user-friendly, rapid, excellence in terms of technology, and very distinctive, not me too, not just copying. And this index is very semi-quantitative or competitive and quantitative. And therefore, this screen is a very powerful screen. But we just don't stop at that. What we also do is that there is a proper due diligence done, visits to the institutions, the enterprises, or localities, no matter how far they are, and so on and so forth.
1, inflection points. 2, scale. I think the Earth Care Awards can deliver on both these fronts. How does innovation help us shift from business as usual to a completely different trajectory? That's the inflection point of the innovation. But what the Earth Care Awards does is it helps to then take it to scale. It helps to take these innovations and their innovators, put them into an ecosystem that is oriented towards providing them the right support, the right visibility, the right market access, the right access to financiers, which can help take these innovations to scale.
It is not just the large initiatives, it's small steps as well. And that's what differentiates many other awards which have been instituted from EarthCare. Because what we are trying to do here is identify those who are working at the grassroots, startups, as well as large companies. So it's everyone is being evaluated for their efforts, and if they are good, naturally they are awarded.
So the Earth Care Awards are a truly valuable step in recognizing climate innovators across the country for the work that they're doing. There is a need to recognize more community-driven, more female-centric solutions in urban spaces, in renewable energy, and the awards do a magnificent job of ensuring that we understand, we showcase, and we reward the work that's happening on the ground.
For me, the Earth Care Awards' single most important role is visibility. We have seen that awardees in the past have gone on to win other awards at an international stage, which demonstrates that 1, we are bringing the right crop of innovators to the table. 2, we are doing something right about choosing the best among them. And 3, we are able to then provide them the visibility that helps them to go on to do more and better things.
Point of time, there is a huge investment cycle that has been unlocked on the topic of climate change and decarbonization itself, with many new businesses being created in mobility, in energy, and so on. So I feel that Earth Care Award also has to stay with the times and has to move in the direction of surfacing new ideas, whether those are technology ideas or business models, in new businesses that get created, new investments that will get made in these spaces. These could be VC stage, angel stage, or they could be PE stage ideas.
And the impact that we have seen at each of these levels, as I said, from individuals to organizations, There are lessons that are learned that are replicable in the country, because finally we want to not only make a transition, but a just transition, a rapid transition for creating a world where clean energy, sustainable practices, and environmental stewardship will create a healthier and more prosperous society.
Thank you, esteemed jury, for your dedication and time in hand-holding and mentoring us throughout the journey. Prasiddhi and everyone in the room,
It's time.
let's
for something
pledge
important.
to be this generation that takes responsibility for our climate and make the world green and sustainable. Ladies and gentlemen, now comes the most important part of the evening, where we will felicitate our winners. I would like to request the audience to give a big thunderous round of applause to kickstart this well-deserved felicitation. May I request Mrs. Sangeeta Jindal, Mr. Sivakumar Sundaram, and Dr. Mashelkar to come on stage and do the honors. Don't let the clap stop.
Please help us welcome them on stage. All right. So comes the very important part, the felicitation. And our first category is community-based climate action. This category recognizes the organizations implementing initiatives led by communities, exemplifying the participatory approaches. So basically, in these times where we have to evoke our planet's power, as Mr. Sivakumar Sundaram mentioned, in fact, it is personally my favorite book, The Times Evoke, which I have read multiple times. It is time that we evoke the power of our grassroots communities. The 11th Earth Care Award recognizes Axis Bank Foundation under the category Community-Based Climate Action for their high-impact mega watershed project in Chhattisgarh. May we please have the Axis Bank AV now.
Lacking extensive soil and water conservation efforts across interconnected landscapes and basins, the state of Chhattisgarh has grappled with persistent droughts and the looming threat of crop failure. Launched in October 2018, the High Impact Mega Watershed Project focuses on land and water treatment, enhancing cropping intensity and building capacities of the frontline functionaries, community members and CSOs.
Families that are dependent on natural resources are most vulnerable to the impact of climate change, and a project like this enhances the adaptability capacity of the family and of the landscape on which their livelihoods are dependent.
जो जमीन खाली पड़ा हुआ था उसमें भी हम लोग वृक्षारोपण का भी प्लान लाखों में लगाने का प्रयास किए। नाला के किनारा कटाव रोकने का काम हुआ। 15,000 का प्लान किए हैं जो पानी बचाने के लिए, चाहे डबरी हो, चाहे तालाब हो, चाहे गिबियन हो, चाहे नाला में कोई नाला बंधान हो, इस तरफ से पानी को बचाने का काम किए हैं।
The Watershed Development Project has become a catalyst for transformative change by creating over 48,000 land and water resource structures and doubling cropping intensity, involving over 1 lakh households.
जैसे डबरी बना तो डबरी में हम लोग पानी को रोके, पानी रुका तो फिर उसमें हम लोग आजीविका की ओर गए, फिर मछली पालन की ओर ध्यान दिए।
पहले क्या होता था, पानी आके बह जाता था तो अच्छा से हम लोग का एक समय का भी फसल हम लोग का अच्छा से नहीं हो पाता था। अब ऐसा नहीं है, अब उस डबरी का पानी सिंचाई करके अपने फसल को अच्छे से पका लेते हैं।
लाख खेती में हम लोगों ने ज़्यादा फोकस किया है, जो कम मेहनत में और कम लागत से अधिक कने
लाखों रुपए की फायदा उसमें महिलाएं कमा रही हैं।
By intertwining community engagement, technology integration and a strategic partnership with CSOs and government entities, the initiative pioneers an integrated, resilient and replicable approach to address climate challenges.
May I now invite Ms. Dhruvi Shah, the Executive Trustee and CEO, and her team from Axis Bank Foundation to come up on stage and accept the award.
Thank you to JSW and Times of India for recognizing the efforts, also to the members of the jury. And the hero of the story has been the processes that have been integrated with community-based organizations, with us, with our 15 NGO partners on the ground, which are going to take these efforts much further away from the project that has been now for 5 years. And the contributions and the association that we had with the MNRE GSL with the government of Chhattisgarh. So I believe the processes are going to ensure sustainability of these activities and continue what we started. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Ms. Shah, as we hear insightful words from the Axis Bank Foundation. We are reminded that real change begins at the grassroots. A big thank you for your dedication. We have another award in this category. 11th Earthcare Awards recognizes Meghalaya Basin Management Agency under the category Community-Based Climate Action for the Community-Led Landscape Management Project, that is CLLMP. May we please have the AV of Meghalaya Basin Management Agency, please.
In Meghalaya, recognized as the wettest region in India, an ironic challenge exists. Despite the abundant rainfall, prevalent surface runoff and inadequate storage management led to acute water scarcity in the dry season. A community-led landscape management project pioneers a holistic landscape approach to conserve and manage natural resources.
Without having very good community support, we cannot do any such activity in Meghalaya. So when there is a demand from community side, so the state felt it's the right time to intervene, and this is how a community-led landscape management project of Meghalaya started.
We had to think differently while implementing this project. We would rely on community resources to go to help us with implementation, with monitoring of work, with collection of data.
Benefiting over 59,000 households, the project marks its success through the implementation of sustainable landscape management practices, covering an extensive 32,289 hectares of land.
The work that they gave for our village includes the nursery, orchards, vermicomposting, check dams, recharge ponds, and contour trenches. These are the activities that have brought benefits to our village. After the commencement of CLLMP, we received numerous trainings and awareness, and we agreed to work together. Our forest is now denser, and people have stopped felling trees.
The community-led landscape management project is not merely a landscape management project. It's a concerted effort to empower communities, enrich traditional practices, and pave the way for sustainable natural resource management in the challenging terrain of Meghalaya.
We've been able to build more than thousands of water harvesting structures. We've been able to build community nurseries to generate resources for planting in the forest. These are done on social enterprise model. So communities run them, they earn revenue from running them.
May I now invite Mr. Sampath Kumar, IAS, Principal Secretary, Development Commissioner, Government of Meghalaya, and his team to join us on stage to accept the award and say a few words. Please keep the applause going.
Thank you for the organizers, especially the JSW Foundation and the Times Group. So we came from Meghalaya. Meghalaya, I think all of you know, is one of the most beautiful states in India, with over 85% of the population is indigenous population. They know how to live in harmony with the nature. In fact, you all must have known about the famous living root bridges, where people have a symbiotic relationship with nature. So in fact, what we have been trying to do is that to really propagate that entire the community leadership, and to really take actions that are very important, especially during this climate change, the crisis that what the whole globe is actually facing. So what the state is doing is that, I just want to tell you, we have been investing a lot on young population. In fact, we have about 14,000 community conservation corps in the state. So they can fix the climate problems in their own villages. So a lot of work is happening there. In fact, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Konrad Sangma, we're also investing a lot on climate work. In fact, almost like close to 15% of the state budget is spent on climate work. So with this, in fact, I really wanted to thank the JSW Foundation and the Times Group for recognizing the efforts of Meghalaya. We are making a small effort. In fact, I would like to request all of you to please, I wanted to invite you to visit Meghalaya and to be part of this, beautiful journey. Thank you.
Congratulations. We really appreciate your dedication to empowering communities for sustainable resource management. The work that you are doing is definitely really inspiring and creating a huge change. Thank you so much, Dr. Mishelkar. May I now invite Dr. Arunabha Ghosh to please join us on stage with Mrs. Jindal and Mr. Sivakumar Sundaram.
Can we have a round of
Our second category for the evening is none other than Urban Enablers for Urban-Centered Climate Change Management. This award salutes the unsung heroes, government bodies, municipalities, cities, and towns, because they are not just urban planners, they are the conductors of resilience, turning the concrete jungles into climate havens through mitigation and adaptation. 11th Earth Care Award recognizes Y Municipal Council under the category Enablers for Urban-Centered Climate Change Management for their amazing initiative enhancing the urban environment by embracing an inclusive and climate-resilient approach for sanitation. Can we please have the AV of Y Municipal Council?
Nestled along the banks of the river Krishna, Vai is a historical pilgrim city faced with the challenges of open defecation, septic tank overflows, and inadequate fecal sludge management. Vai Municipal Council embarked on a groundbreaking journey towards a climate-resilient and inclusive sanitation approach.
The Nagarpalika created an awareness program via rickshaw announcements, door-to-door pamphlets and newspaper advertising to encourage the citizens to adopt toilet sanitation practices. Via this program, they educated the citizens about the dangers of open-air defecation.
पहले तो कुछ ऐसा सार्वजनिक या फिर नहीं ऐसे टॉयलेट या कुछ नहीं था, रात होने के बाद में भी बहुत सारी दिक्कत महसूस होने की, जाए तो कैसे जाए, कैसे करें। फिर नगर पालिका वालों ने 10,000 की मदद और सरकार ने 12,000 की मदद वो हिसाब से की, और हमारा भी थोड़ा उसके अंदर थोड़ा डाल के वो हिसाब से फिर घर में ही एक टॉयलेट बांध दी।
In collaboration with CEPT University, the Municipal Council spearheaded the development of a robust circular economy, creating a sustainable and efficient framework for urban development.
As dumping of the collected waste posed a pollution hazard, Vai Nagarpalika has installed a thermal FHTP, the first such initiative in Maharashtra.
Vai achieved a historic milestone by becoming the first city in India to pass a resolution for the implementation of fecal sludge and septage management (FSSM).
ये जो प्रोजेक्ट है उसमें थर्मल एफएसटीपी है। थर्मल एफएसटीपी का मतलब क्या होता है कि जो भी हीट जनरेट होती है वो वही के वही यूज होती है, वो पर्यावरण में नहीं जाती।
Vai Municipal Council's innovative approach has not only transformed the city's sanitation practices but has set a precedent for others to follow.
As we are in the time of sanitation, may I now invite Sagar Umaji Sartape, the sanitary inspector, and his team from Vai Municipal Council to come up on stage to accept the award and say a few words.
Please keep the applause going.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Asim Mansoori, and I represent Center for Water and Sanitation at CEPT University and the Vai Municipal Council. First of all, I'd like to thank JSW and the Times of India Group for this award, and to the esteemed jury members who actually selected us for this award as well. I think one thing I would like to say here, that this scale of Vai that we are talking about and the activities that they have done around circular economy, it's not only climate mitigation, but also adaptation activities that they have taken up. And as we talk, this is not being only done in one city of Vai, but the whole processes that have been set up is now scaling up for the entire Maharashtra for 60 million urban population that we're talking about. And hopefully that will be also taken at India level through the university support. So thank you very much for this award, and we would like to thank everyone as well who have come here for this award. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, sir. Your dedication to inclusive and climate-resilient sanitation is shaping urban spaces for a sustainable tomorrow. We have another award in this category. 11th Earth Care Awards recognizes Sinnar Municipal Council, SMC, under the category Enablers for Urban-Centered Climate Change Management for the climate-responsive sanitation services in Sinnar. May we please have the Sinnar Municipal Council AV, please.
To address the challenges of inadequate sanitation facilities and improper disposal of fecal waste, Sinnar a city in Maharashtra initiated transformative measures to establish a climate-responsive sanitation service.
पहले जो फीकल स्लज का होता था बिना ट्रीटमेंट किए वो ओपनली जगह पर डिस्पोज किया जाता था बिना किसी भी ट्रीटमेंट किए, तो इस वजह से पोल्यूशन काफ़ी होता था और काफ़ी इस वजह से एनवायरनमेंट को हानि पहुंचती थी। फिर FSTP जो फीकल स्लज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट है इसका कॉन्सेप्ट लेकर आए।
Sinnar, aided by the Center for Water and Sanitation at CEPT University, devised the city sanitation plan with an emphasis on implementing integrated fecal sludge and septage management.
हमने सिटी को 3 भाग में डिवाइड किया, जिसमें हर एक पार्ट हम 1 साल में सिटी का कवर करते हैं। यहाँ पर एक पार्ट में जितने भी हाउस होल्ड प्रॉपर्टीज़ या कमर्शियल इस्टेब्लिशमेंट्स है वहाँ पर हमारी सेप्टिक टैंक की गाड़ी जाती है और वहाँ से जो फीकल स्लज है वो वहाँ पर से डिस्लज करती है।
ये करते समय हमने कम्युनिटी में लास्ट स्टेप पे जो पब्लिक रहता है उसको भी हमने कवर करने का काम देख लिया।
जब टाँकी भर जाती थी तो उसमें लाती थी, हम बाथरूम यूज़ नहीं कर सकते थे, उसके बाद में हमको नगर पालिका में जाना पड़ता था। ये स्कीम आ गई अभी तो वो खुद आते हैं अपने पास में।
Innovative financing models, including sanitation tax, sanitation credit, crowdfunding, and public-private partnerships were pioneered to ensure the sustainability of services. This visionary initiative thrives on multi-stakeholder engagement involving private operators, SHGs, sector experts, and citizens. Sinnar, representing numerous towns in India and small cities in South Asia and Africa, demonstrates a replicable model for addressing on-site sanitation challenges.
FSTP प्लांट के ज़रिए हम ये सब पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल तो कर ही रहे हैं, लेकिन इसके साथ ही साथ रिसोर्सेज का रीयूज़ कर रहे हैं, उसको रिसाइकल करके उसको ग्रीनरी बढ़ाने में और एक अच्छा एनवायरनमेंट देने में हम उसमें कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
May I now invite Mr. Ritesh Bairagi, Chief Officer, and his team from Sinnar Municipal Council to come up on stage to accept the award and say a few words.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As a Sinnar Municipal Council, we would like to thank JSW Foundation and Times of India Group, and of course the jury members. The FSTP plant, which is founded and sponsored by the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, as well as the HSBC. We would like to thank Safety University also. Their consistent technical support is, we have right from the inception from the project, from designing the tender documents and daily operation and maintenance of FSTP plant. Lastly, we like to thank every of our sanitation worker in the Sinnar Municipal Council and our staff. Because of them, we are here and we are getting recognized for what we have done regarding the FSTP and for the small contribution toward the climate change and of course the as we have gathered for the SDG goals regarding the sanitation and safe drinking water, which is one of the most important goal in sustainable development goals. So I would like to thank each and everyone, and thank you so much for providing us platform and recognizing our efforts. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Sinna Municipal Council. Your approach to a climate-responsive sanitation is surely steering us towards a cleaner and greener urban living. Thank you so much, Dr. Ghosh. May I now request Mr. Rajat Gupta to please join us on stage with Mrs. Jindal and Mr. Sundaram for the next category of awards. Our next category is Innovation in Climate Action. This award category celebrates the transformative innovations by individuals, NGOs, and startups that can enable a climate-resilient future. Startups often bring a very fresh and some innovative ideas and technologies. They have helped to develop and implement cutting-edge solutions that promote renewable energy, resource efficiency, sustainable agriculture, waste reduction, and carbon footprint reduction. The 11th Earth Care Awards recognizes String Bio Private Limited under the category Innovation in Climate Action for their very special String Integrated Methane Platform, SIMP, an innovative technology that converts methane, a potent greenhouse gas, into valuable products for agriculture input, animal nutrition, and human consumption. Can we please have the AV for String Bio Private Limited?
Methane, the second most prevalent greenhouse gas, possesses a global warming potential nearly 86 times higher than that of CO2. Consequently, mitigating methane emissions stands out as a highly effective approach to slowing down the pace of global warming. Meet String Bio, a Bengaluru-based startup established in 2013 on a mission to revolutionize the way we view methane. Using CNG and methane as the raw materials, String is among the select few global players, in fact, the sole Asian company pioneering the methane-based value chain. What sets String apart is their robust intellectual property protected platform, leveraging innovations in synthetic biology, chemistry, process engineering, and fermentation.
Most existing processes today use liquid substrates. Where our innovation comes is in enabling the capability to be able to use gaseous feedstock as a primary source of carbon for fermentation.
This platform actually utilizes greenhouse gases to produce very value-added products that go on and then do very interesting things at points of application, maybe it in agriculture, animal feed.
When I buy fertilizer from other store, quality was bad and flower growth was less. After applying String Bio product, the flower buds growth is good. Now we are getting around 15 to 20 kg. Before, when we apply chemical sprays, even after 15 days or a month, we did not see much improvement. There was no gain for us from it. Every profit we made, we spent there itself. Since we started using String Bio product, the issues we're having have essentially been resolved.
With over 50 IP applications, including 15 granted in the US, EU, Australia, and India, String Bio's vision is to build a world where cleaner and better ways of living are enabled by biotechnology.
May I now please request Dr. Ezil Sugayan, CEO, and Dr. Rajiv Kumar S., scientist, to come up on stage to accept the award and say a few words. Please thunder the room with your applauses.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to the GSW Foundation and the Times Group for recognizing and providing visibility and a platform to showcase our work. As you've seen, the work that we do is based on some very, very interesting science and technology. But as you can imagine, the real impact for us is in actually driving the commercialization of the products. And not only that, but being able to actually mitigate climate impact through the use of our products, right? That's where the real impact is. I do want to take just 30 seconds as I was sitting and listening to all the awardees before us. One thing that really stood out for me was, I don't know, I'm sure most of you are familiar with something called the Stockdale paradox, right? So Jim Stockdale was actually a prisoner of war in Vietnam and tortured for 15 years before he came back to the US. And when they asked him, hey, who are the people who didn't make it back? He said it was the optimists. And as I sat here listening, one thing that stood out was that the journey ahead for us in terms of caring for the earth and actually being able to mitigate climate impact is a really big one. And one thing I'm going to walk away from this evening is, and one thing that we live by at String is, we have incredible faith that we will prevail in our mission and be able to actually deliver the impact. But the truth of the matter is we need to face the reality in terms of where we are today. And reality today when it comes to climate change, unfortunately, is not that great. And we really need to act with urgency. We really need to act with urgency, particularly in environments like India. And in that context, thank you so much to the team here for providing a platform and giving us the visibility, which will then allow us to take our solutions not just within India, but also into global markets.
Thank you.
Wow, what an amazing initiative. Congratulations, Dr. Subin and the team. Your innovative strides with the String Integrated Methane Platform, SIMP, are nothing short of a genius. The work you're doing is a testament to your commitment to a sustainable future. Congratulations. And the next category is something special to me because having founded my second organization, the Green Pillar, the social enterprise, which is still emerging in the climate education space, the second category is very special to me. Karnav, would you like to introduce it?
Our next category is Emerging Business in Climate Action. The category celebrates the innovative spirit and commendable contributions of new businesses that have demonstrated exceptional dedication to combating climate change. 11th Earth Care Awards recognizes Way Cool Foods and Products Private Limited under the category Emerging Business in Climate Action for reimagining the food supply chain. Can we please have Way Cool Foods and Products Private Limited AV on screen?
Due to an unplanned and inefficient supply chain, farmers lack essential visibility into market demand, creating a considerable gap between the preferences of buyers and the available produce. Founded in 2015, Way Cool Foods redefines the food supply chain dynamics.
When Karthik and myself thought about starting Way Cool, we looked at the kind of company we wanted to start. And it became very clear to us that if you're starting a company in India, then you have to start a company that has a positive bottom of the pyramid impact and also addresses serious issues around climate change.
Unlike traditional methods, Way Cool employs a demand-driven supply chain, seamlessly integrating material, information, and money flow. Their unique phygital business model connects and promotes efficiency and profitability for all stakeholders.
Climate smart is business smart for our business model. So when we looked at, instead of just looking at the physical operations of how we operate and using technology to forecast demand in advance,
we've implemented a AI tech stack and efficient supply chain practices that reduce food losses to 1.17% when compared to food and agriculture's baseline of 14.7% in a Southeast Asian supply chain.
State-of-the-art solutions and automation infrastructure enhance productivity, and the integration of electric vehicles in their logistics fleet reduces the carbon footprint. With a farmer engagement program called Outgrow, Waycool also collaborates with over 200,000 farmers, providing advisory services and custom solutions.
అవుట్గ్రో చేసేదాన్ని ఇంకా కొంచెం కెమికల్ కొంచెం ప్రాబ్లం తగ్గుతుంది.
Outgrow helps me in the way of organic farming, and it gives a better way of making our own fertilizers.
Waycool Foods emerges as a beacon, demonstrating how innovation and technology can reshape our approach to food production and distribution, creating a more sustainable future for all.
May I now request Ashwath Ganesh, lead ESG strategy, and the team to come on stage to accept the award and say a few words.
Can I say that?
Just starting off on a lighter note, till today I thought I was the youngest in the room. Thank you for being here. Waycool is an 8-year-old startup, and it predominantly works on the pre-harvest and post-harvest supply chain. We recognize that agriculture and logistics are the biggest contributors to global greenhouse gases, and which is why for our business, sustainability is not a standalone function, but sustainability is the core business model itself. We thank the JSW team, the Times of India team, and the jury members for recognizing our work. And this will definitely be a motivation for us to push forward and emerge as one of India's largest agri-tech company delivering large-scale impact. Thank you.
Just take 30 seconds. Would like to invite both our green champions to a Miyawaki forest that we have created in Chennai. We would not only want to come and you should share your inputs, but also ensure that your enthusiasm and your spirit that comes across all the warriors at Waycool. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Wow, that is so inspiring, because being from Tamil Nadu myself, and my predominant plantations having been done in Tamil Nadu with the villagers and farmers, that to dense forest, I would be more than happy to work with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ashwath Ganesh, and thank you, jury members, and thank you, everyone, for the standing ovation. Congratulations, sir, and thank you for leading the way to a sustainable tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Gupta. May I now request Ms. Shloka Nath to join us for the next category of awards.
And I would also request Mr. Path to join us for this category.
Can we have a round of applause?
Our next category is none other than women leaders in climate action. In the dynamic tapestry of climate action, we shine a special spotlight on the she force, shaping our sustainable future. The award celebrates the crucial leaderships and partnerships of women. And in fact, at COP28, I also witnessed a special day for gender and climate change. 11th JSW Earthcare Awards recognizes Sharayu Kulkarni, co-founder of RooCart. Sharayu is the co-founder of RooCart, a social enterprise that makes efficient and decentralized technologies for farmers. Isn't that amazing, everybody? So may I now request Miss Sharayu Kulkarni to come up on stage to accept the award and say a few words, please. Also, let me introduce Mr. Path, who is there with us over here, who is the MD of JSW Cement and Director of JSW Paints and Sports. Please give a big round of applause for him and our winner.
So, thank you JSW Foundation and Times of India team for selecting us for this award. So we at RooCart mainly focuses on manufacturing of this affordable cold storage solutions, which are very useful for marginal farmers, both men, women, and it can be easily installed, easily used, and it gives me immense pleasure to say that this journey of 4 years has taught us a lot how the technology is perceived by both the genders, by men as well as women, and it has been giving us immense good feedbacks so that an idea can take the shape of technology through these, our praisers or, our supporters. And we thanks a lot for our IIT Mumbai as well as whoever, helped us in our journey and, who are also still with us for this beautiful journey. Thank you very much for choosing us.
Congratulations, Ms. Kulkarni. Your dedication to developing decentralized technologies for farmers is truly inspiring. Congratulations, Ms. Kulkarni.
We now move to the category Young Change Maker, which celebrates the commitment of young individuals to drive environmental stewardship, emphasizing the importance of youth-led initiatives in shaping a more sustainable future. This honor acknowledges the remarkable out-of-the-box initiatives undertaken by youth to create solutions addressing climate change and fostering sustainable development. 11th Earthcare Awards recognizes Mr. Niki Kumar Jha under the category Young Change Makers for the innovation titled Sabji Koti, and affordable storage for small marginal farmers and street vendors. Can we please have the AV?
Food loss is a pervasive global issue, significantly impacting small and marginal farmers as well as street vendors in the fruit and vegetable supply chain. Inadequate storage and transport solutions burden these key contributors, leading to substantial losses. Addressing these crises, 27-year-old Niki Kumar Jha founded Saptakrishi in 2019.
फल और सब्जियों की बर्बादी एक बहुत ही बड़ी समस्या है और ये जो बर्बादी है ये एम्पलीफाई हो जाता है छोटे किसान, सीमांत किसान, स्ट्रीट हॉकर्स के लेवल पर, क्योंकि उनके पास कुछ भी ऐसा सुचारू व्यवस्था नहीं है जिसमें कि वो अपने फल और सब्जी को रख सकें। तो इसी समस्या को देखते हुए हमने सब्जी कोठी नाम के एक स्टोरेज को विकसित किया।
We tried to play with a concept called as microclimating, and we varied the humidity level and dissociated the gas which is getting formed through our ozone generator.
Leveraging IoT and controlled microclimates concept, this decentralized and cost-efficient system prolongs the freshness of fruits and vegetables.
पहले लगाते थे तो खराब हो जाती थी, अब खराब नहीं होती, फेंकना नहीं पड़ता है। अब इससे मिलने से हमारा लाभ होता है, फायदा होता है, डेली 300-400 रुपये बच जाता है।
ये पूरी की पूरी जो सब्जी कोठी है ग्रीन एनर्जी से संचालित है। सिर्फ कुछ लीटर पानी और 20 वाट बिजली की आवश्यकता होती है।
With a mission to revolutionize the agricultural landscape by providing innovative and affordable solutions, this young innovator, Nikki Kumar Jha, emerges as a catalyst of change.
It's not the time to preach sustainability, it's the time to practice sustainability. हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा, काल के कपाल पर लिखता मिटाता हूँ, गीत नया गाता हूँ, गीत नया गाता हूँ।
I would like to request Nikki to come up on stage to accept the award and say a few words.
नमस्कार, मैं निक्की कुमार झा, मैं भागलपुर बिहार के एक बहुत ही छोटे से गांव से आता हूं। जो समस्या मैंने अभी आप लोगों ने देखा, ये फल और सब्जी के बर्बादी की समस्या, ये ऐसा है कि कई लोगों ने इसे अभी यहाँ पे टीवी पे देखा होगा, किसानों को फल और सब्जी को फेंकते हुए। बट बिलीव मी, वो हमारे लोग और इवन मैंने फल और सब्जी को फेंका है बस इसलिए कि हमें इतना भी पैसा नहीं मिल पाया था कि हम अपने फल और सब्जी को मंडी तक पहुंचा पाएं। मैंने वो दर्द महसूस किया है और अभी भी जब भी मैं उस पिक्चर को देखता हूं तो मेरे गूज बम्स आते हैं। सर, लेट मी टेल यू, अगर फल और सब्जी का बर्बादी होता है, इट डजेंट ओनली मीन्स कि वो इकोनॉमिक लॉसेस है टू स्मॉल मार्जिनल फार्मर और स्ट्रीट हॉकर। इट इज़ वे मोर देन दैट। आपको जान के हैरानी होगी कि सिर्फ एक टमाटर को ग्रो करने में 25 से 30 लीटर पानी की आवश्यकता होती है, और अगर वो टमाटर ऐसे यूं ही फेंका जाता है, इट मीन्स लैक्स ऑफ लीटर ऑफ वाटर इज जस्ट गेटिंग वेस्टेड. Apart from that, thousands of hours of manpower is also getting wasted. And let me tell you, sir, if this all doesn't sensitize you, let it be a problem of a small village of Bihar, you are wrong. You are wrong, because जब वो फल और सब्जी सरेगा तो वो मीथेन गैस एमिट करेगा, and it is a very potent greenhouse gas. So इस पे मुझे सिर्फ 2 पंक्ति याद आती है कि समर शेष है नहीं पाप का भागी केवल व्याध, जो तटस्थ है समय लिखेगा उनके भी अपराध। जो तटस्थ है समय लिखेगा उनके भी अपराध। So it is the time कि we collaboratively, सर, आज सब्जी कोठी के मदद से मैंने हजारों 10,000 लोगों के जिंदगियों में एक छोटा सा परिवर्तन लाने का कोशिश किया है। You come to our places, thousands of men are using सब्जी कोठी, और जो मिनिमम जो गारंटीड होता है, what promise we make to those small marginal farmers, street hawker, is that at least increase in their income by 170%. And what promise we make to our mother earth is that कि एक सब्जी कोठी का डिप्लॉयमेंट 1276.82 kg ऑफ CO2 को मिटिगेट करता है, जो कि इक्विवेलेंट है कल्टिवेटिंग 60 फुल ग्रोन ट्रीज का। साथ ही साथ सर, एक और बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट पहलू पे मैं सबका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहूँगा कि हर एक स्टार्टअप की तरह हमारा भी सपना है कि हम भी यूनिकॉर्न बने, बट बाय इम्पैक्टिंग अ बिलियन लाइफ। By impacting a billion life, I will be able to generate $1 billion revenue as well. And that day I will call myself as a unicorn. सर, मैं आज इस अवार्ड को, थैंक यू JSW फाउंडेशन, थैंक यू टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया फॉर दिस प्रेस्टिजियस अवार्ड। सर, मैं 2 व्यक्तियों को बहुत ही धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा और मैं उन्हें बुलाना चाहूँगा यहाँ पे। मिस्टर अनिल सेंगल सर, ही इज़ माई मेंटोर। ही ओपनड अप हिज इंटायर प्लांट
entire industry कि निक्की तुम आओ यहाँ पे और काम करो. And Mr. Shivam, he is the advisor to Saptakrisi. Without them, I can't be anywhere. इतना ही नहीं, मैं सबको इनवाइट करता हूँ, प्लीज़ हमारे साथ आकर के जुड़ें, हमें हेल्प करें, हमें मदद करें. मुझे पता है ये डगर कठिन है, पर वो पथ क्या, पथिक कुशलता क्या, जब पथ में बिखरे सूल ना हो, वो नाविक धैर्य कुशलता क्या, जब धाराएं प्रतिकूल ना हो. धन्यवाद. मैं निक्की, टीम सप्तकृषि से.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It means a lot. And congratulations, Nikki. I must say, your initiative does not only produce, but seeds hope for a sustainable tomorrow. Your IoT invention for farmers is a green leap to a brighter future. Thank you, Ms. Nath.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate a decade of Earthcare Awards, we have a special felicitation this year that is surely going to inspire all of you. The one and only Green Business Titan. May I now invite Dr. Mashelkar to please join the dignitaries on stage and also introduce the Green Business Titan.
Mrs. Sangeeta Jindal, the distinguished members of the Jindal family, Shiv Kumar Sundaramji, friends of environment, distinguished jury, the proud awardees, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great evening of celebration, great evening of inspiration. And thank you, Sangeeta ji, for making me a part of it for close to a decade. This is a very special day in my life. Always I look forward to it. I'll make a couple of remarks before I introduce the award. I think the first thing is, we have had 79 awardees, we added some more today, and we'll add some more next year, and very soon we'll reach 100. That will be a day of real celebration. I think we have to applaud not only those who are here physically, but also those 79 who have made us proud. So how do we reach them? With a great round of collective applause. Let's give it. The second point I want to make is, in 2003, I remember, I was the president of Indian National Science Academy. And Lord Martin Rees, the president of Royal Society, gave the Blackett Memorial Lecture. You know what was the title of his lecture? 21st Century, Last Century. You know why? Because he was deeply concerned about ozone layer depletion, ravaging of biodiversity, devastating impact of climate change, and he was alerting us that this could be the last century. I wish he was present today. His title would have been different. His title would have been 21st Century, Century of Hope. Because that is what our awardees have shown, as a matter of fact, at different levels. And that is why this is a very, very, very special evening in our life, I would say. I would like to introduce the award now, the Green Business Titan. This is a new category that we have introduced this year. This is about celebrating an individual who has demonstrated exceptional leadership and enduring commitment to sustainability, environmental stewardship, and the fight against climate change within the business world. As we celebrate a decade of climate action, the aim here is to recognize the outstanding and persistent efforts of our visionary leaders who have successfully integrated green practices into their business models, fostering harmonious balance between economic prosperity and environmental responsibility. And who else can receive this inaugural award? It is Mr. Nadir Godrej. Say a few words about his formal citation. The 11th Earthcare Awards recognize Mr. Nadir Godrej with the Green Business Titan accolade for his commitment toward driving sustainability at the Godrej Group. Mr. Nadir Godrej, Chairman and Managing Director of Godrej Industries Limited and Co-Chair of Godrej Good and Green Council, has been instrumental in steering the conglomerate towards a sustainable future. Under his guidance, Godrej has emerged as a trailblazer in incorporating eco-friendly practices across its diverse business sectors. As a passionate advocate of sustainable business practices, Mr. Godrej is deeply committed to the Godrej Good and Green vision for creating a more inclusive, more equitable, and greener world. The Godrej Group's commitment to sustainability is evident through its comprehensive initiatives spanning across energy efficiency, waste reduction, biodiversity conservation. Godrej has reduced its GHG emissions by 55%, energy consumption by 36%, and has diverted over 60% waste from landfills. Further, the group currently fulfills over half of its energy requirements from renewable resources. Mr. Godrej's leadership has played a pivotal role in fostering a culture that prioritizes environmental consciousness, contributing significantly to national and global sustainable development efforts. The group's exemplary efforts in sustainability have been recognized at various prestigious platforms, including the earlier Earthcare Awards. The Godrej Group, under the visionary leadership of Mr. Nadir Godrej, stands as a beacon of responsible business, showcasing how industry leaders can lead the way towards a harmonious coexistence of business and sustainability. And if I may just add a couple of words, last 10 days have been very interesting for me. Of course, today I'm here for these awards. Going back, on the 16th, I was in London, attending as a member of the jury for selection of Queen Elizabeth Prize of Engineering. This is a kind of Nobel Prize in engineering. It's a £1 million prize. It has gone to game changers like internet, World Wide Web, GPS, etc. This year, also it went to climate change challenge. I think His Majesty Prince Charles will announce it on 6 February, so I don't do that. But it was environment again, that one. And then, of course, just 10 days ago on 13th, you were responsible for launching a great award, SP Godrej Sustainability Award, and I had the privilege of chairing that particular sort of jury. So you can see in 10 days, there have been 3 instances on creating a greener, safer, and a sustainable earth, and that is something that is a great matter of pride. And Nadir, 10 days, all good things have to be repeated, and therefore we are together here today to celebrate you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I please invite Mr. Rajat Gupta and Dr. Arunabha Ghosh also to kindly come up on stage and present the award.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Jindal, Ms. Nath, Mr. Ghosh, and everybody on stage. I would request Mr. Nadir Godrej. Yes, please.
Thank you. Ms. Sangeeta Jindal, Mr. Sundaram, Dr. Marshall Kerr, members of the jury, fellow awardees, and our young champions. It is no longer climate change within a tolerable range. A crisis is what it's about, with fires, floods, as well as drought. Every week, a constant blast, far worse than seen in the past. If we must, we will adapt. Prevention, though, would be more apt. There is a cost to adaptation. It's rising fast in every nation, as well as for the world at large. This will be a heavy charge. In fact, we should all conclude prevention would be far more shrewd. It actually would cost much less and avoid a lot of stress. These awards can save the day by rewarding those who paved the way. In capitalism's early days, we see social responsibility in some degree. To dissipate the urban gloom, both Cadbury, Lord Leverhulme, then pioneered the company town. In India, too, this has come down. My grandfather probably saw these examples and found no flaw. He bought far away marshy land. His critics just couldn't understand. They concluded he'd gone quite mad. But today we are glad, not sad. A township then slowly arose, and this is where our business grows. We provided every needed tool, housing, hospital, and school. My uncle, known as Sorabji, way back could clearly see the environment was under stress. Neglect, he knew, would be a mess. In saving tigers, he played a role. The environment was a major goal. Our creekside land was reserved, the mangroves there well preserved. And all of you should understand this was 2/3 of our land. And from my office I gaze out there, a Mumbai view that's very rare, with greenery all the way until you sight New Bombay. And now and then with friends I float on a gently moving boat with pink flamingos in full flight. To my mind, a splendid sight. And now it is our aspiration to pursue research and conservation and spreading awareness all around. This strategy is very sound. Under my cousins Firoza and Jamshid, I'm very sure that we'll succeed. At first, there was benign neglect, but thanks to research, we could select an approach that is more integrated. This is widely appreciated. Many innovations have been tried. Our mangoes are ISO certified. We were the first off the block. Of all our species, we've taken stock. Our fishermen's livelihoods are preserved. Flood prevention is usefully served. Carbon is sequestered, we all know, as our mangroves steadily grow. It is indeed a cause for good cheer that it's 60,000 tons each year. Over 1 million tons is now the stock. So much carbon we could lock. For us, it's clearly understood preserving mangroves is really good. And for all the good work that's been done, Many sustainability awards have been won. All this is great cause for celebration, but more can be done with collaboration. The WWF and Godrej Boyce are training the youth of 9 coastal states. This should open the knowledge floodgates, and enlightened citizen participation enables mangrove preservation, which leads to biodiversity and conservation, and several benefits to the world and our nation. Godrej Boyce's recent mission was setting up the Indian Wetland Coalition. There are many partners we can see: Wetlands International, WWF, and GIZ. India's Ministry of Environment is very much there. Forests and climate change, CII, have a share. This extensive collaboration is very good for the nation. Mangroves are good for soil retention. They ensure flood prevention. Biodiversity is maintained. Ecotourism can be attained. Profitable fishing is sustained. Indeed, so much can be gained. For our good work, we were rewarded. In your 8th edition, we were awarded for our contribution to Earth Care. I would also like to share, in the year 2010, studies were commissioned, and then, with the help of DASRA and FSG, our new program one could see. We aptly named it Good and Green, and what a journey it has been. And how do we define our role? What could be a proper goal? Now, the UN has a lengthy list, so in recounting, some would be missed. So I will focus on just 3 that I think would be the key for all the others to fall in place and enable us to win the race. Good health through perfect sanitation, environment, and education. All of these can be seen in our program, Good and Green. All industry should play a role in the carbon neutral goal. GHG emissions should be reduced, more green energy should be produced, and so without partiality, our goal for all is neutrality, whether water, carbon, or solid waste, and very soon we will make haste to make our net emissions 0. Will that make the group a hero? In 2010, the goal looked tall, but we took a reasoned call. Technology would save the day. So far, it has turned out that way. To achieve these goals, we will strive to do it all by 2035. As technology takes a leap, green energy gets very cheap. Keen observers quickly saw that solar also tracks Moore's law. Whether groundnut shell or bagasse, our India's full of biomass. And bamboo is now on the way. A major role it can play. At first we thought we'd have to spend, but that's not true, for in the end, the more we thought and the more we slaved, we did invest, but we also saved. And solar is still getting cheaper. And as we start digging deeper, in India it has hit the goal of being cheaper than even coal. Our cost of water is not so high, but yet we do attempt to try to reduce our water consumption. But all the same, it's a safe assumption our water use won't disappear, and so to be neutral, I fear, we will have to mitigate. Though fortunately, I can state that developing a watershed doesn't cost much, and instead, our agribusiness can benefit. The government will do its bit, but where it fails, we'll fill the breach, and hopefully we will reach many farmers on the cheap. But the benefits that we reap will compensate for the cost, and once again, nothing's lost. There are many paths that we can see for achieving carbon neutrality, but the cheapest way is certainly through energy efficiency. Real interest rates are rather low, and high returns quickly flow from any energy-saving device. For business, this is very nice. Not only are returns quite brisk, there's also very little risk. Much innovation is what we see in each and every factory. Last year, our Valia factory was awarded for heat recovery. We'll be inspired to greater heights. Neutrality is within our sights. Your awards help us all. More and more will take the call. In India, mandated CSR can help us go very far. Multiple benefits is what one sees with water projects or growing trees. Good livelihoods are created. Our carbon emissions are abated. Trees planted at a river source maintain the flow throughout its course. So many benefits we can see. The preservation of biodiversity. Different species can be tried. Useful products can be supplied, like biomass or edible fruits, and yet the trunk and the roots can sequester carbon, clean the air, a win-win that is very fair. So while we decarbonize, why not also monetize? So never fall for either or. Our hearts and minds demand much more. And if we do what's just and right and collectively apply our might, successfully we will get there to a brave new world that's green and fair. Thank you.
Oh my God, I just literally went into the flow as you narrated the poem. It is so inspiring, so humorous, and just perfect to serve the purpose of being cherry on cake in this event. Many congratulations, sir. Your dedicated leadership at Godrej Group has not only steered the conglomerate towards a sustainable future, but it has also set a paradigm for responsible business practices. And as you were mentioning about your initiative, Go in Green, and, all right, Good in Green, and how the journey has been. Speaking of journey, let's talk about the 11th Earth Care Awards journey. And to celebrate it, we have something really special. So while we finalize the stage setup, let us have a little fun.
We also have another category before we have some fun. May I now invite Amok Varsha JS, who is an Indian filmmaker and wildlife photographer. He won the 67th National Film Awards for his film Wild Karnataka as the best exploration adventure film. It is narrated by none other than Sir David Attenborough and also won the Best Narration Voiceover Award. May I request the film to be played?
Seldom save what we don't love. Wild Karnataka sends a message of hope, not just across India, but across the whole world.
May I request Amok Varsha JS to come up on stage and say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. It's a little bit of a tight spot after all the titans, the winners, and between the music concert, right? It's a bit of a tight spot. The only thing I'm glad is that I'm not in school with these kids, right? So I've got a little bit of help. I've got Carl Sagan to help me. So let's focus on this word Earth, right? Earth Care Awards, and let's focus on the word Earth. And let's take a step back. When I say a step back, 6 billion kilometers away. So this is the photograph taken by Voyager in 1990, okay? And this image is taken of Earth from a distance of about 6 billion kilometers. And Carl Sagan, one of the most profound astrophysicists of our time, said something very interesting. I'll read it because I don't want to miss the words. From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest, but for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here, that's home, that's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being that ever was. The aggregate of our joy, suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother, father, hopeful child, inventor, explorer, teacher, politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. So that's where we are all sitting right now. So just kind of some context to where we are. Interestingly, my journey kind of started looking up at the stars. I started my career kind of as an engineer. I was into astronomy and astrophysics, and I used to look up a lot and wonder about the stars. You know, the stars are so unreachable that you start looking a little down, which is the earth and the forests. And you know, I keep saying that the people ask me, like, why did you quit your software and all of that and just jump into wildlife? And I say, I couldn't find parking in the city, so I had to get out. So as with everything, and I started getting really lucky. A lot of people are jealous of me because I travel for a living. And I travel to some really exotic places. So I traveled to the Rocky Mountains in Canada. If you're wondering, it's taken on an iPhone. So nature is so pretty that sometimes you don't need great cameras to do justice to it. I traveled to the savannas of Africa, to the rainforests of Tasmania. But I found out after traveling all over the world that our backyard is so pretty. Anybody knows where this is? I think the JSW group must definitely know this place. Hampi, right? This is so beautiful. This is our backyard. This is like 4.5 hours from Bangalore. And I realized the stories of our backyard needs to be told a lot more. And I had a funny incident once, and that's kind of inspired me. How many of you like frogs? After this image, maybe? So this is a frog that was discovered just about 5 years ago. The Latin name is Nila netras. Nila netra means like a blue eye. It's called the blue-eyed bush frog. And I sent this photograph to one of my journalist friends. And immediately he called me and said, hey, are you in South America? I said, no, I'm in Karnataka. I'm in the Western Ghats. He said, really? Do we find this in India? And that's when the light bulb went, that we don't know what we have in our backyard, right? We've been doing a film in Mumbai, and I've seen leopards and dolphins and flamingos and mudskippers. How many of you have seen flamingos in Mumbai? Right? So that's the beauty, that in a city with 20 million people, we figured out how to exist with leopards and flamingos. A huge, huge round of applause for Mumbai. So we said, these are the stories we need to tell. And we said, let's make a story on the backyard, which is the state I come from, Karnataka. And we made this film, like, these young people who go out and make it. And then my biggest dream ever was to go and meet Sir David Attenborough and get an autograph. But little did I know that he would go to narrate my script, right? So we met him in London, he narrated the script, and he was really, really excited about the power of telling backyard stories. And now, the music for this was done by my dear friend Ricky Cage, who's going to perform now. And he said, you know what, this film needs to be taken out. So we took it to the UN, and it became the first ever wildlife film to be shown at the UN, from anywhere in the world, not just from India, right? I'm saying all this to say that these stories are universal. They may be from India, but these are stories that touch every single person. And that's the power of nature, because it's universal, truly. And something else happened after we made this film. The highest number of, the highest category of people who watched this film were children, right? And I said, there is something here, because, we are all old and, half the times we're jaded. We said the hope is in the future, and we said, we need to make more content for children. And that's when Mrs. Jindal called me and Tanvi called me and said, hey, we are doing this museum called Museum of Solution for Kids. I said, wow, we didn't have these museums while growing up. And can we do something exciting about this? And they wanted to bring attention to the underwater marine life and the oceans. So we made this film on a little green sea turtle and the story. So if you're in Mumbai, you should definitely go watch the film, which is being played at the Museum of Solutions right here. But I think the clause is you have to go with the kid. So please find the kids and please take them. So I'd like to play a small teaser of the film just for you to see what's come out of it.
Hey, meet Puddles. She's a green sea turtle who's about to undertake the voyage of a lifetime. From the shoreline to the deepest seafloor, the ocean teems with life.
Whoa! So this is what they call the big blue ocean. If we protect our oceans, we protect our future. Join me to know how and what we can do together.
Tomorrow tickets at the Museum of Solutions. So, of course, Puddles, we spent about a year filming this across the Indian Ocean, so it's kind of a labor of love. But then we didn't stop there, We said, stories have this amazing power. The realization of all these films, the stories are among the most powerful tools for consciousness change. Pretty much, you take any moment in history, it would have started because of a change in how people thought, right? If you just looked at COVID, we as a civilization and as a species could come up with vaccines in 2 years, which was thought to be impossible. So if we put our mind, anything is possible. So the question is really about the mind. It's really not so much about can we solve climate change, can we solve environment. It's really about making the decision and all of us making the decision, right? So that's when we said, we need to, if you look at any change, like I said, there's awareness, then you have policy and solutions, and then there's implementation. So the challenge really is in awareness, because we did some research and found out that in India, at best, 3% of the population has access to nature, climate-based content or stories. So which means all the great superstars we saw here are like a 3% of that 3% or lesser, right? So how do we increase the pie size, right? And how do we think really big? So we thought about it long and hard, and I spoke to Mrs. Jindal the other day and said, want to do something more ambitious than everything that we've done so far. And we said, we as a country today have the highest number of elephants and tigers anywhere in the world. Your claps for India. So we said, what's our legacy? We've now launched rockets to Mars. Moon is an old story, right? We pretty much own the tech sector, the biotech sector. So what is going to be India's legacy when it comes to nature, right? And it cannot be a legacy that we create copying Western models. Because today we have the highest number of elephants and tigers thanks to the culture of coexistence. We are a culture that worships snakes. We worship rivers. Have you anywhere seen such a large population worshipping snakes and rivers, I've not seen, and I've traveled the world. There are in patches tribes that do it, but as a country, we worship this, right? And I said, this is what we have to create. This is the legacy that we need to, create for India. And this will be our, I hope, biggest export to the world in the coming decade. And we've set out to do something really ambitious. It's a project called Indiverse. The idea is to take nature to at least 1 billion people in the next 5 years. We've already started with the support of the JSW group. So this legacy of nature that we want to create, we hope, and we definitely will make sure that crosses generations, because films and content and stories surpass generations, right? They go through, they're timeless. So for the first time, we are showing a glimpse of what we've done. It's not been shown anywhere else so far. So I guess you're all lucky. So let's play the clip.
A land as old as time. Home to more people than anywhere on earth. And there are still unseen worlds. Worlds where big animals still roam free. From the roof of the mighty Himalayas to the depths of the Indian Ocean. From the mystic sands of Thar to the monsoon-soaked Western Ghats. From the mythical jungles of the south to finding the root of all life. Join us as we take this India to 1 billion people.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. So this was, what can I say? This was incredible, from making a film inspired. Who could imagine that you could actually make a film inspired from your backyard? Wow, it's just so revolutionary and inspiring amazing children like us, and also, covering India and our diverse love for nature worships. It is just exceptional what you have been doing. And thank you so much, Amok, for doing what you have been doing. And I would also like to thank all the other amazing winners as well. And as I mentioned, now it is time that we have a little fun while we get the stage set up. All right. So, talking of fun, it comes to my mind that all of you have been listening to us for a very long time. So we would like to listen to all of you as well. And we would like to start a little conversation over here. So, Karnav, I wanted to ask you a little question, that if you could organize a concert with nature sounds, if you could organize a concert with nature sounds, what would be the headline of the act?
That's a really good question. And my concert title would be silence speaks 1,000 words. And what would be yours?
So, as you mentioned that silence speaks 1,000 words, right?
Yes.
Is that right? Yes. So the way you mentioned that, if I were to organize a nature concert, because you mentioned that your headline act of a nature concert would be silence would speak 1,000 words. If I were to organize a nature concert, the headline of the act would be a nature sound bash, trees, bees, and seas. Because the rustling of leaves, the buzzing of bees, and the waves of seas is something that has truly inspired me.
So the question I would like to ask you would be, if you could make a magical word, what would that word be that could make people smile?
All right. So it's simple. Smile, please. But I want all of you to laugh as loud as you can on Smile, please. Yes, just like Mr. Godrej and Mrs. Jindal over here. Because we need a lot of positivity and energy to protect our planet Earth. So speaking of Mr. Godrej, I actually wanted to ask you a little question. Okay? My question to you, if you don't mind calling you uncle.
Just call me Nadi.
Oh, please.
Makes me feel very old.
So if I could ask you the question, that if you could travel to a moment in history, what would it be?
That's a good question.
Can we have the mic, please? Yes. Thank you. So please answer the question.
There's one famous person I share a birthday with.
Oh.
And that is Antoine Laurent Lavoisier.
Oh.
And he's a Frenchman, and I'm very fond of the French, and I speak French. And he's a chemist, and I'm a chemist.
Wow.
So I would like to go and meet Antoine Laurent Lavoisier.
That's some
Wow.
chemistry right there.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, history and birthdays and meeting someone, there is so much involved in this special moment of history, Mr. Godrej.
Now, I would be asking
you.
a question to Ms. Shloka. That would be, if you could bury an eco-friendly capsule, what 3 items would you include to represent the present?
Firstly, I just want to say both of you are my inspiration. And Prasiddha, I want to be you when I grow up.
Oh my God, I'm young.
The 3 things. One is I would bury a seed of a
Wow.
banyan tree because I would want future generations to see the trees that we grew up with.
True, so true.
I would bury the smell of the Indian Ocean because I think that's a beautiful smell. And lastly, I would bury the Paris Agreement that we wrote in 2015, the Climate Convention, as well as the UNFCCC biodiversity agreement that was signed in Rio in 1992, because I think it's important for future generations to know that we all share a responsibility in protecting the earth.
So true. I mean, banyan trees is something very important, and the Paris Agreement is super important. I mean, wow, this is such an amazing imagination how in just 3 items you could actually represent the present. So speaking of the present, the future, which is children and youth, which is us. We want to seek an advice from you, Mrs. Jindal, that if you were to give 3 very special superpower words to us children and youth as a piece of advice, what would they be?
My advice to you is don't listen to the adults.
Oh my God.
And the second point is that you must persevere and don't give up.
Oh, so true.
So true.
And also, we all live in different egos, but you all must collaborate with each other together.
Wow.
And there's no I in team.
Wow. Wow. These are some... Yes, please. Yes, please.
She's very right. You shouldn't listen to us, but we are definitely going to listen to you.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. But I often say that the passion of the present and the experience and blessings of the amazing adults, if I would say, is what is going to change the world. So we really need your advice. And as you rightly mentioned, we need to believe in the power we have and never give up because our planet needs all of our support to protect the world. So now that we've had a little fun and I hope you all are happy, so I want you to say this magical, to answer my magical word, smile please. Yes, amazing. So that is the excitement that I want. So I suppose the stage is set, am I right? Yes, the stage is set, and let us celebrate our amazing winners who have been caring for our Earth.
We have a wonderful performance by Ricky Cage now.
Whoa, hang on, kids. Come back on stage. Just few moments, Karnav, you also. Well, you all must be wondering, as I was equally wondering and burning with this desire in my mind and heart, that what did your parents do when both of you were conceived? Were they watching television, National Geographic, Save the Earth? Or what were they doing? Have you ever asked them?
What were they doing when we were growing?
Yeah, like when you were yet to be born, while you were still in your mom's womb. Do you have any idea? Or we should ask your parents, your mom, your father, anybody here?
I think I was in the tummy, so I don't know what was happening outside of the tummy. But I am very sure that my parents really believed in mantra chanting because being the mantra dikshit of Swami Niranjanananda Saraswati ji from Bihar School of Yoga from the age of 2, mantra chanting is something both my parents really believe in.
So that's the answer. And how about you, Karnav?
So my mom is a doctor and she's a dietitian. So I believe she...
Dietitian and an environmentalist and author. And how does this fit in?
So I believe my mom must have followed a diet or something with nutrition food.
Nah. We should ask the parents. Are they anywhere here? Can we have the spotlight?
My mom's back in there.
Okay, well, I think we'll do so later on. Oh, are they here? Can we have the spotlight on the parents? The lady waving the hand is mom of Karnav. Okay. And the gentleman sitting next to the lady waving the hand is, oh, there he is, the young man. They are the parents. The gentleman waving the hand is Prasidha's dad, and the lady waving the hand is Karna's mom. So we may ask the questions to them, that what did you do with your kids when they were being born? Lovely to have both of you up here on the stage. Totally an amazing evening we had. You really enthralled us with your performance, with your elegance, with your confidence, and the way you took the evening forward. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being a spectacular audience.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I can see how my future holds when the young generation, the budding generation is so confident of what are we to do now. But yes, I'm very confident and happy, as was aptly mentioned by the speaker of the day, the beginning. He mentioned that we are happy that the nation is in safe hands, the young generation is doing their bit, and they are motivating us and inspiring us to do our bit as well.